We want you to hold an international tournament with no lag, without flying anybody anywhere. Go.
Live from Tampa Bay, Florida, it's the Home Shopping Spree.
The in-mass office has a bunch of boxes. It's got to do something with those. Those got to go somewhere. We got a stack of boxes in the office. I stole didn't steal, but I took 10. So I have 10 statues.
So you remember the first Canyon Clash we did? We actually ran 3 different streams. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure somewhere in my files somewhere I have those 2 other channels.
We had you and Lamazing, Dr.
Yeah,
Lamazing.
Dr. Lamazing.
And I did the cam for one of them.
He was my color. I guess we were both color. Neither of us really knew in depth what was going on. It was just chaos. Do you remember, I think it was Canyon Clash 2. A bunch of people were making team names that were just super goofy. One of the ones that I remember the most is Baraka Flocka Flame. That was probably my favorite one. That. But one team named themselves Hail Lord Naria. I was fine with it. I was like, it's fine, whatever. But I remember we went into a meeting and we were going through the list names, and there was a couple that I didn't recognize were actually kind of borderline, sexual in a different language, and I just didn't realize it. But Hail Lord Naria, they were like, we got to tell him to change the name. I'm like, why? And they're like, it's a band member. We don't want to, be bringing it up. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I remember at one point people were talking to me about going to Korea to do a worldwide PvP tournament.
Whoa.
I think I pushed against it a little bit. I was like, yeah, it'd be super dope, right? That would be cool to go all the way to Korea. But realistically, what are we talking about? Are we talking about putting a server in Korea or the United States and having players from Russia and players from Korea and players from the US and players from Europe battle each other? Because that sounds awesome, but are we gonna be able to have everybody play on a central server and just deal with the lag, or are we gonna fly people out? And I can't remember who it was at the time, but somebody was like, give me your pie in the sky idea for what you want.
Blue sky scenario, man.
Yeah, give me the idea that you want to do. And I think the idea that I came up with is that we would run regional tournaments for Europe, the US, or NA, Korea, and I think Russia. Russia had just launched at the time. And I was like, we'll do that. And then the top team goes into a single elimination tournament. And we just battle it out. We want you to hold an international tournament with no lag, without flying anybody anywhere. Go. Between 4 different publishers. Go.
This is why no one liked you.
Damn it. Yeah, proxy. That would have been the only way to do it. Even then, I looked into proxies. I actually got a quote from a company on providing proxies for 200 people. But yeah, it was too expensive. I was curious. I was mostly curious because proxies were not as common as they are now. They were still common back then, but they weren't as easy to find quotes for. I can't remember who I messaged. I messaged 3 or 4 different companies. Hey, if we wanted to get 200 proxy accounts for your service for a weekend, how much would that cost? I think it was just some stupid number. We're like, yeah, okay, no thanks. Bye. You went to Korea. I didn't get to go to Korea. I was so bitter.
I got to go to Korea the first time with the team when we had Space Cats. I ran around with Space Cats and Anna, whatever she was going by at the time. G-Star. We went for G-Star. That's what we were doing. Then I went back once to talk to the TERA teams over there. That was fun. That was toward the last time I was on that product. Craft on Building was amazing. Starbucks was weird because everything was strawberries. And they're
G-Star, is that China?
No, G-Star was Busan. Craft on went all out. Did a giant PUBG and TERA and Air. Not TERA, PUBG and Air booths, like just massive on a scale that we don't see here at our game conventions. It was insane, amazing, totally different culture. Just the way people walked around inside and interacted with the developers, weird. Wasn't ready for that. And they all thought I was with PUBG.
Yeah, I never got to go to any conventions officially for the company.
You never did, really?
No, not a single one.
Oh crap, dude! I went.
I know.
PAX, Gamescom, G-Star. I missed out on things like China Joy and stuff like that.
We held a PAX like meetup at the building, but we like when I went there, we didn't have a booth. We didn't have any official capacity like at the convention. But I did kind of like half convince marketing for us to make a small booth and play test, I think, Fate of a Rune at an anime convention in Austin. But like a brainchild of mine was we focused so much on retention and new player acquisition. And for the most part, the marketing that we did was just kind of haphazard, spread all over, relating video game sites. So, like massively, and we would try to, engage YouTube personalities and Twitch personalities and all that kind of stuff to play the game. But I was like, what is something that TERA has in common with the players? Like, what is something that they also like? Like most people love anime that play TERA. So I'm like, we should be looking for people that haven't played the game who like anime. So I'm like, what better way to do it than to say you should come play this game that's got some super anime aesthetics to it, dope action combat, has this huge like just vibe to it. Come play it. Didn't work out. I mean, I think we were transitioning stuff around at the time, and I think that was right before I was getting ready to leave anyways. But yeah.